You know Nezuko is nearly dead in the last episode of Season 3 by the sunlight, right? But because her mother made blue spider lily soup for her when she was young, she became the first demon in history to overcome the sun. But what if Nezuko was not immune to the sunlight, and she perished right there in front of our eyes? What would happen to Tanjiro, whose sole purpose in life is to cure Nezuko? This is the only motivation that drives Tanjiro to fight against all odds until this day. But what if Nezuko dies? What will be the motivation for him to continue this perilous mission? Will he abandon his quest and return to living a normal life? Or will he still chase his dream of killing Muzan? If Nezuko dies, Tanjiro's motivation will not be driven by love anymore, but by vengeance. Because in this world, there are only 4 strongest motivations, and vengeance is one of the 4. The 4th motivation is responsibility. We see this motivation in some Hashiras like Rengoku, Mitsuri, and some Demon Slayer Corps members. They are willing to die at any moment just to fulfill their duty as Demon Slayers. We also see this type of motivation in real life too, like soldiers who are ready to fight to the death at any time without hesitation, just to fulfill their duty and protect their nation. The 3rd motivation is love. People who have this motivation can protect and die for the ones they love without a second thought, just like Tanjiro has for Nezuko, and Tokito's brother has for him. This kind of motivation makes weak people surpass their limits and face any challenge in their life just to make the ones they love happy and safe. The 2nd motivation is greed. Don't underestimate people who have this motivation because this one is stronger than the previous 2. We can see this motivation in Muzan and other Upper Moon demons. Greed can make Muzan live for 1,000 years just to get what he wants, no matter what he has to do. This kind of motivation can make people kill and destroy anything that stands between them and their desires. We also see this kind of people throughout history. They are the reason why World War I and II happened. Well, this is the most dangerous motivation, but it's still not the strongest motivation yet. The number 1 motivation and the strongest motivation of all time is vengeance. Revenge can make people lose themselves. They will do whatever it takes and destroy whatever they have to destroy, just to make the ones they want to avenge taste their pain. Compared to greedy people who want something but they still want to be alive, people with vengeance can sacrifice everything in this world, even their own life and every life in this world, just to get their revenge done. They can betray anyone. They can betray and kill with no emotions. This type of motivation can turn the hero we love and know into the most evil villain in just a blink of an eye. And that's what Tanjiro would become if Nezuko died in the last episode of Season 3. I have always wondered how Tanjiro would react if he lost his beloved sister, the only family he had left. I think he would unleash his dark side and become consumed by vengeance. He would not care about anything else but killing Muzan, the one who ruined his life. He would not hesitate to sacrifice his humanity and become a demon if that meant he could get stronger and face Muzan alone. To explore this idea, I have created 2 possible scenarios for Tanjiro's future. In the first scenario, he resists the temptation to become a demon and stays true to his human values. In the second scenario, he gives in to his anger and hatred and becomes a demon himself. What would happen in each scenario? How would Tanjiro's choices affect his relationships with his friends and enemies? How would his story end? Let's find out. Let's go with the first scenario, where Tanjiro still remains a human. In this scenario, after Nez vanished by the sunlight, Tanjiro would lose himself and start to question what the point of continuing was. At that moment, he would try to find any excuse to continue this mission, and that would be none other than vengeance. Remember that he asked the kid to put Rengoku's sword handle into his new sword? Well, if Nezuko died, none of that would really matter to Tanjiro anymore. He would think that all of those Hashira deaths were meaningless, and that protecting the 200 passengers should not have been Rengoku's priority. The old Tanjiro, who had softness and cared about other people even when they tried to kill him, like on the train, would be gone. He would have no more pity for weak people. Tanjiro would distance himself from Zenitsu and Inosuke. He would receive any people and Hashira who could teach him how to use the sun-breathing technique to reach the limit. Even though it was bad for his health, just like it did to his father, he will not care at all. Vengeance would drive him to train harder and stronger, until he mastered the sun-breathing technique and killed the upper three demon by himself. During this period, Tanjiro would not care about the damage in the battlefield. He would destroy anything and kill many innocent human lives while battling the upper moon demons. Blinded by revenge, he would become more violent than the Wind Hashira, crazier than that. He could even kill the Wind Hashira, just because he disrespected Nezuko when she was alive. If he killed the Wind Hashira, his friendship with Kenya would be ruined. At this point, the master would not recognize him as a demon slayer anymore. Moreover, his enemies would now include all the demon slayers too. All Hashira would try to put Tanjiro down, even Inosuke and Zenitsu would chase him down. Even if he became strong enough, when he faced Muzan, Tanjiro would lose to him because vengeance could only make you strong so far. We know Muzan was a man with a plan. He would not let Tanjiro defeat him easily. Plus, this time, Tanjiro was alone. He had no friends, no plan, no team, and no plot armor. But wait, besides Nezuko, there was one person who could prevent all of this from happening, and that person is none other than Kanao. We know Kanao was Tanjiro's love interest in the manga. Love could be the only thing that stopped him from becoming his dark side. But in that process, Tanjiro could break Kanao's heart many times by trying to push her away. But in the end, Kanao did make Tanjiro fall for her and get his love motivation back again. Let's consider the second scenario. Tanjiro becomes a demon because Nezuko loses her life to the sunlight. In this scenario, there are two reasons why Tanjiro might become a demon. One is that he wants to pretend to be a demon and gain strength quickly. He believes in his willpower, and he thinks he can control his mind just like Nezuko, since they have the same blood and DNA. However, to become a demon, Tanjiro needs Muzan's permission, which is unlikely to happen because Muzan wants to kill him so badly. But Tanjiro still has one more card to play, the Upper Moon one. We all know that Muzan fears losing his Upper Moon demons, and that Upper Moon one is related to Tanjiro. So if Tanjiro asks Upper Moon one for help, Muzan might accept him as a demon. In the process, Tanjiro will try to push his friends away from him because he doesn't want them to worry about him. He also doesn't care about humanity anymore. The only thing he wants is to kill Muzan. Now let's say that Tanjiro has the ability to control his own mind and escape Muzan's curse like Nezuko. He still cannot defeat Muzan by himself, even though he has mastered the sun-breathing technique and gained the strength of a demon. But if he can persuade Upper Moon one to join his side, they could destroy Muzan together with the help of the other Upper Moons. And after Muzan dies, Tanjiro could betray all of the Upper Moons by luring them into a trap where they get killed by the other Hashiras. And at the end, he will kill himself because his mission is complete and he cannot bear to see himself as a demon. That's all for today's what-if scenario. Comment down below what you think about how this should play out.